evening to you, wherever you're listening to us from, and we're glad to have you join us on A Stitching Time, coming to you from Sunrise FM 96.1. My name is Precious Chukwuekezie, and I'm glad to welcome you to the program that is all about you. Like I do tell you, this program is for you to do things that you're pushing for tomorrow, today. Things that you are supposed to do today that you're saying, okay, I'll do it tomorrow. You never know what might happen tomorrow, and it might be too late. That's why we do say that a stitching time saves 9. And that's why today we have brought to you something that is affecting, or that is going to affect each and every one of us if we don't take action now. And it will not just it will go a long way. It will cost you a whole lot that you begin to ask yourself some questions. So I wouldn't want it, or we wouldn't want it to get to that point. We want to take action now so that you will not have any reason to regret your action or you not taking action. We're glad to welcome you once again to A Stitching Time. Today on A Stitching Time, we will be focusing on the activities. Okay, let me tell you. Recently, the Enugu state government established or inaugurated special task force on sanitation. You might be wondering why. There is already SWAMA there, they are doing their job, and that's for you to know how serious the state government is taking the issue of sanitation, the issue of cleanliness now, how serious they are taking it now. So that's why, in addition to what the SWAMA is doing already, they are adding to it so that people will know that the state government is serious. And it's actually for our own good, because when we keep our environment clean, it goes a long way to saving us from contacting or getting infected with all these infectious diseases. So it's actually for our own good. It's not, we're not doing it for the government. The government is not doing it for the government. The government is doing it for each and every one of us. So there is need for us to take action and help the government succeed in this initiative. And so today we are focusing on the activities of this special task force on sanitation established by the state government and inaugurated recently. To discuss the activities of the state government regarding sanitation in terms of this task force, special task force on sanitation, there are persons, or there is somebody who is saddled with the responsibility of ensuring or coordinating the activities of this task force. So we have today as our special guest Adenike Okebu. She is the senior personal assistant to the governor on revenue. She is also the coordinator of this special task force on sanitation. We're glad to have you on the program today.
Good evening, listeners.
Okay, we also have Sandra George. She is the special assistant to the Enugu State Governor on revenue. We're glad to have you, Sandra.
Thank you for having me. Good evening, everyone.
Okay, so moving on, the state government recently inaugurated this special task force on sanitation. We already know that there is SWAMA there, but only the state government knows better why they established this. So, since you are here and you're the one coordinating the activities of this special task force, can you tell us about it?
All right. Thank you very much. Thanks for having me. So I'll just go straight into it. The state government and His Excellency has a special unit, his cabinet, named the Governor's Delivery Unit. And this unit is not established to take over the job of any ministry or departments or agencies. It is only established to ensure that at every point in time there is transparency and there's accountability and effectiveness and efficiency of the operations of these agencies at every point in time. This delivery unit meets and has strategic meetings every week to assess the performance of all of these MDAs, listen to people through different modes of channels of communication, through emails, through whistleblowing, through direct observations, and then also going around the state at intervals unannounced on spot checks to see how these ministries or people that have been given the responsibilities to carry out some certain things for the citizens are doing. So their performance is being analyzed in these meetings, and then areas where interventions are required are being highlighted. So this task force was actually established to enhance and support efficiency in ESWAMA. As it is, just like every government establishment, when you sit down in a place every day, things that are abnormal may now start looking normal to you, except there's an independent eye looking at it, and then that's where the GDU comes in. So we were established to now look into ESWAMA. It's just about 12 days into 1 year.
Oh, okay.
And then a lot of transformation has even happened with ESWAMA. This is not the first time actually that we're going into ESWAMA as the GDU. This is about the third time. And then the first time was the intervention with the contractors and how they lift all of these debts that has been deposited to ensure they lift them out. But this time around we noticed that despite the intervention the first time, this time around is about the citizenry and their compliance. It's like people have been used to doing things a certain way, and change management has become a bit difficult. So we had to now adopt this approach to say we need to do this for the people, and so that it's evidence what ESWAMA is doing, and we can also change some policies and show them some things that they can do better, especially for the people. And it's been yielding marvelous results just within a few days.
Okay. When you were talking, you said something about 12 days into the 1 year. Is it that the activities of this special task force is going to be for 1 year?
No, it's just for, like, we're not supposed to take over the management of the agencies.
Oh, okay.
We're supposed to just intervene for a specific period of time,
Oh,
show them how to do things better, and hand over back to them. Because of what we say, continuity. So that's just going to be for 15 days actually, and then we expect that it continues afterwards. If we examine again,
15 days.
Yeah, 15
Okay.
days. Yeah. So if we examine after 15 days, they're supposed to continue with what the task force has done.
Okay.
But if we examine that they're not doing it again the same way, or the energy is going down, of course the task force will have to come back to ensure that.
Can you tell us what exactly they will be doing? Their specific activities within this period of time.
Okay. Before this task force, there's been a task force because some of the issues that we identified was the issue of scavengers going to different dumps and then picking out debts and just littering it because they're trying to pick out plastic and recyclables. So that's one part of it. And then the part of the citizenry, like having nonchalant attitude and just being comfortable throwing things everywhere because there are no sanctions. Yes. So this is what we are now looking into. First of all, the activities of the scavengers, activities of the contractors that have been given the task to lift the debts as a when due, and then the activities of the citizenry in keeping their environments clean. We go around and then you see some people's houses, we see weeds everywhere, dumps everywhere in front of businesses, people just drop things in the front of the drainages, and people are not cautioned. And we know people can actually do better if they know better. So it's about us telling them on how they can support the government and keep a healthy environment for us and for themselves.
Okay. Even though this is a special task force, you said after a little while you hand over to the ESWAMA for them to continue with their work.
Yeah.
But for now, are you doing this in collaboration with the ESWAMA, or are you doing it just alone? Just the task force.
100% is with ESWAMA because we have to show them
what you're doing.
What we're doing. Yeah. So
Okay.
the enforcement team, we work with them 100%. The financial management, everything, operations from end to end, from the picking of the debts to when it gets to the dump site, we work with them through the process and hand over the process back to them.
That's nice. Amazing. Okay. You've started your activities already.
Yes.
And from the information we got, a lot of arrest has been made already. Yeah. So it's now over to you, Sandra.
Thank you.
If you are a defaulter, what's your penalty?
Okay, the idea is that we get full compliance from this. You're in a bus, for instance, like we had a quick conversation before the program started, is that we should all serve as change makers. So if you have your neighbor acting in the wrong way, it is expected that you advise and direct them in the proper thing to do. So if we get defaulters, so first of all, we're starting with massive sensitization of the general public. So we have sent out information news through social media handles, both official, we send to different groups via WhatsApps, We also have radio stations and TV stations we're working with. So once we're done with this sensitization period, we will now enroll full enforcement. So when defaulters are caught, there are two options for you. So you get a stipulated fine, where you get an option to pay to the IGR, or else we will take you for community service, which we are also happy to get people support us in keeping the city clean. So once this exercise is completed, we have had like more than 2 batches of people help us out with community service. At the end of the day, we took them back to the office where we had them sign the community register, service register, and some of them really, you know, it was more of a partnership with them.
Yeah, they were happy to eventually.
They were happy to help out and all of that. So yeah, so those are the 2 options for now that we give to defaulters. You get to pay a fine, or you join us for community service.
The fine, how much are we talking about?
So now it's 50,000 naira.
That's huge.
Oh yes, oh yeah. So the idea is that we do not necessarily want to take money from people. So this 50,000 to discourage them from
opting for the fines. Actually.
Exactly.
So it's better you don't commit.
Yes, it's better for us that you keep the city clean than give us 50,000 naira.
Oh, okay. Okay, let's see. Maybe just like you said, that persons who you've
ourselves, we shared gloves, we got protective gears.
That's nice.
Yes.
Maybe we all should be throwing that so that
please definitely totally discourage the public.
So that we can actually come to you and then you.
No, actually, I think we would start looking for people, volunteers. Actually,
maybe Saturdays or last Saturdays.
Yeah, we can all come out together.
Maybe there will be a stipend for them. That will encourage.
Volunteers, thank yous and volunteering.
Not this time around. Not with the situation of things in the country now. Okay, since you've started already with this enforcement, are there challenges that you've encountered so far?
Oh yeah, the major challenge would be non-compliance of citizens. We keep saying that the citizens, we can't do this without them. Government is only a certain fraction of the total number of people.
That's right.
So if I serve as a monitor for wherever I am, if I'm in school, and then once I finish eating or drinking, I trash properly, then it's not a problem. So we also find that citizens themselves don't bag their waste properly. So you find that when the compactors, that's the contractors that go to pick up the trash, they spend more hours at a particular dump site rather than just picking and tipping. So you see that they have to sweep, pack, and this is a lot of hours. So it takes longer to clear the city. The idea is that the contractors start at 4 a.m. and get the city clean before people wake up and start heading to their various jobs and businesses. But you find that most times on your way to work, you still have people picking trash on the road. This is because of non-compliance. So we encourage people that we have approved Eswama bag. The black bin bag is approved. So you can go to Eswama office and pick up these bags for a certain amount of money. Bag, it saves us time and it's better for us that everybody. In buses also, we encourage buses to go and get the basket. So whatever you eat in that place, you just bag it and put it there. Or if you don't, if you're walking on the road, I can tell while growing up in the city, I would usually tell Nike that our bags served as mini bins during a certain regime. So because you know, for every offense I commit, I know what amount of money the cost of it will be for me. So I rather bag it, and when I get home I trash properly. So this is the biggest challenge has always been citizens compliance.
I'm just hoping, not too long ago, there was in the past, let me not say a particular regime, but one of the past regimes, if you come to Enugu, nobody will tell you not to drop anything on the floor because everywhere is very clean.
You're very correct.
Very clean.
Exactly.
So I'm just hoping that we'll go back to that era where everywhere will be clean. You don't need anybody to tell you, don't drop that.
Absolutely.
You will just say that. As in on your own, you will just tell yourself the truth.
Oh, yes.
I not do this. Okay. So for the scavengers, where do you advise them to go pick whatever they pick from these dumpsters?
The landfill.
Okay.
Ugoyama.
Okay.
Yes, we have a landfill.
But that's far from the city.
So we encourage that so most of these scavengers work in partnership with companies, recycling companies. So we advise that they set up maybe temporal tents or makeshift arrangement by the landfill, so it's easy.
Okay.
So whatever sorting you have to do, go to the landfill. We discourage totally any form of sorting in the city.
Okay. Is there anything the task force is doing about some of these? I'm calling out Swama now at this point, because you will see that most dumpsters, they will abandon it for a very long time, and if you're passing, you will be very uncomfortable if you're passing through those areas. So if they can also, in addition to what the task force is doing, make sure that they park.
There's a picture of when.
Exactly. Exactly. It will help. It will go a long way in keeping the city clean too.
Yeah, we actually have. We just also have created a few days ago, just yesterday, a platform where citizens can report in real time waste in their area. So if you find on your way, just drop a location and then we send it in to pick up the trash.
That's nice. Okay. Apart from going from place to place to pick up offenders, are there other innovations, other ways you're planning to, before or even after you've handed over to Eswama, that you're planning to do this job effectively? Maybe are you planning in any way to maybe employ technology?
So that is also an option, but most important for us, we're trying to create a new culture.
Okay.
So where the people understand the importance of clean environment. So they understand the health benefits of it and everything that comes with it. So the idea is not that we keep chasing people for a very long time. So in the shortest of period, we expect that once the culture comes back to keeping the environment clean, then we won't be necessarily needing a task force to chase people.
Yeah, very correct.
Strategically also, we have identified some gaps as to accessibility of people to waste dumps. We noticed that in some areas when we go around, before some people could trash their waste, they'll have to travel like a distance. So we're bridging the gap when they're bringing in more waste buckets, bringing it closer to people to ensure at least every mile, there's every bus stop, almost every bus stop, there will be a waste dump. And then most importantly, we would eventually want to phase out those big waste dumps. It would be households having buckets, trolley buckets, and in front of their households, and then every zone has a time or a day where those trash is picked up. Okay. So if every house, for example, on that street has the bucket and they know that the SWAMA contractors are coming on Thursdays, so everybody drags their buckets out on Thursday and then it's picked. So that's where we're going eventually, but until then, we'll still use this general waste dumps, and then was also using this opportunity to tell every household they can start getting prepared now. The buckets are already available for sale at SWAMA office. Just pick one for your household, and you don't need to travel every day long distances to go trash. And then zones will be allocated to contractors, and then waste to be picked.
Okay. Are you planning? Another thing that will help in this your initiative or in this drive is to, if people can change their behavior, if people can learn that this thing is being done for me, I'm not doing it for the government. Is there any way you're creating awareness or planning something, a campaign to let people know that you need to change your behavior towards sanitation, hygiene, and all that?
Yeah, subtly. It's not yet very well pronounced. We got a name, Keep Enugu Clean.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's the campaign we're trying to launch, and that's what why we started the website thing, where people can drop the location. So somehow within the coming week, we would go into it full blown, where people would even be rewarded on their acts of cleanliness if they can show, and then just put the hashtag Keep Enugu Clean. Yeah, so we're working on that.
Okay. Apart from SWAMA that you're working with, are there other agencies that are helping, or say NGOs or private establishments that are helping to help this? Maybe like churches, non-governmental organizations can actually help, like in the church or in the mosques. They can tell the people this is what is happening and all that. If you default, this is what will be your penalty. They say sometimes where people get the message clearly, most times is in the church, and in the mosques. So, and most times these non-governmental organizations do take up the task of going to communities to educate people. So, is there any way that you're thinking towards these areas?
Oh yeah, Precious, you're very, very much correct. Currently, there's intention to begin to work with churches, schools to educate young kids on how to bag their waste and all of this stuff. So we'll be reaching out to different organizations and NGOs. We are also using this medium to reach out to you. Please reach out to the Revenue Assurance Team or the His Excellency's GDU unit.
Okay.
So we have our email addresses. We'll be splitting that out before we leave here. And also we have phone numbers that we will share with the public. So reach out to us if you're happy to collaborate with us, offer any helping hand. We will welcome that.
Okay. Again, if you say that there will be something for people who volunteer.
Incentive.
Yeah, for people who maybe on Saturdays, if you can come out on say every last Saturday.
Saturday is sanitation already, according to SWAMA. Yeah.
If you can make it in such a way that if you come out, there will be something for you.
Of course, there will be plenty of food.
Not just food now.
Like
other incentives.
There will be other incentives. Just like in the Western world, you come out when you're a volunteer. I think the most important thing is the impact and the fulfillment that you were able to give back to the society first. Of course, you get some certificates, acknowledgements of your service by the state. That's supposed to be there because there's no amount of money actually that you'll be given that commensurate for your time. That's you leaving your family, your children, coming out on Saturday and just contributing to society. I think it's more fulfilling. I think it's for posterity.
Because at the point, they might start seeing it as a way of exercising.
Yeah, of course.
People will come out, I'm going to do this. As in, without anybody forcing them to do that.
We hope to have the first one soon, where it's just like the recent marathon that people came, of course. So when we fully launch the campaign, of course, it will be one big event, and then everybody now takes it up in their different pockets, and then we keep Enugu clean together.
That would be amazing. That would be amazing. I want to be in the forefront so that definitely. So that I also get the incentive. I also get the certificate.
Your recommendations.
Thank you. Okay. Before we go, what's your message to the citizens about because this is not something that the task force or the SWAMA can do alone. This is actually everybody's business because it concerns all of us. So what are you expecting the people, the residents, to do to help?
Okay, so I'll go first before I can give a closing remark. So again, when I started, I had said that we can't do this by ourselves, that we need the support of the citizens. And we are using this medium again to plead with the general public. Enugu is our own, and we have to fix Enugu by ourselves. So please, whatever in any little way that you can help to keep Enugu clean, by all means, please be an advocate for good change and keeping Enugu clean. Bag your waste, tell your neighbors, when you go to church, you go to school, whatever community you're in, please help us pass this message to them and encourage everybody to bag their waste, to silt your drains in front of your house. We did all of this a couple of years back. Every Saturday, our parents will send us out to say, you must clean your drains. If SWAMA comes here, I'll hand you right over to them. And my mom will usually say that. Exactly.
The children will be playing.
Yeah, so we had fun in the street, so we'll clean our drains, we will weed, we will repaint our fence. Let's make Enugu beautiful again. Thank you.
That's nice. Thank you.
I was almost clapping.
Oh, wow.
All right. For me, I think I'm a bit emotional about this, and it should still be me pleading because memories came to me when we were young, living in this face me I face you kind of houses, and where they were portion sweeping and cleaning of compound, and then it was if even it's your turn and you're not cleaning, oh God, the whole of the yard will gossip you and gossip your father and your mother and everything. Yeah, so it was some sort of responsibility. Yeah. Everybody just knew that this is our responsibility, and we're raising children in this environment. And these children, tomorrow everybody's praying you want to go to the Western world. These are things you don't get away with in the Western world. So let's just make it become part of us. Let's own the Enugu. It's our place. It's our own. The scenery when you come out, the kind of air that you breathe. everything contributes to how healthy you are, how healthy your children are. You will visit the hospital less if your environment is clean. So we're calling up on Enugu.
That's correct. That's
to
correct.
please cooperate with us. Be the change maker. Be the change champion. Don't get discouraged. Tell everybody around you. Let's put.
I must say you've been so helpful today. At least people who already don't know about the activities of the Special Task Force on Sanitation will at least know what is happening in Enugu and they will take action. Thank you so much for being
also,
here.
Precious, just wanted to mention once again,
Okay.
as part of SWAMA also, we have had issues because, we are sitting on revenue
Okay.
for people that want to pay their SWAMA, because all of these things, contractors are lifting weights and everything is cost, So we encourage people also to pay their SWAMA bills.
Okay.
If you're not sure, we don't have agents that go around and issue receipts on the streets for now. We're having a platform where people will be able to pay seamlessly on their phones. You pay yourself and on the eirs.gov.ng. Then you can go into click pay bills, and then you pay your SWAMA bills right there online, or you go to SWAMA office and pay. If anybody comes to you and says an SWAMA agent wants to pay for you, wants to collect cash, we don't collect cash. Go straight to SWAMA office and make your payment, or you log on to eirs.gov.ng and make your payments, and then you have your receipts. Thank you very much. And if you have any issues, anybody that's maybe collected money from you inappropriately, we have the whistleblowing email, whistleblowing@enugustate.gov.ng. Please submit your complaints and then with evidences, and we'll take it up from there.
You talked about giving out the numbers to call.
Yes, one sec, I'm pulling up the whistleblowing number.
Okay.
So one of the numbers is 090-2289-3000. I'll take it again. 090-2289-3000.
And the second one, 090-222-32057. Again, 090-222-32057. It's faster to read these lines on WhatsApp because calls may not be picked. On WhatsApp, just send your evidences, your complaints, and if you want to remain anonymous, you're going to be anonymous.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. I appreciate you for being here.
Thank you, Precious, for having us.
Okay, our guest has been Adenike Okebo. She is the Senior Special Assistant to the Governor on Revenue. She is also the coordinator of the Special Task Force on Sanitation. Thank you for being here.
Thank you, Precious.
And also Sandra George, the Special Assistant to the Governor on Revenue. Thank you, Sandra.
Thank you, Precious.
God bless you. You've heard it all from them, and there's nothing more to say. But you need to know that it's time for every one of us to take action, take responsibility. And if you need to do something, you need to start today. Because a stitch in time saves 9. And don't forget that your life is so precious. So that's why we're saying this, so that you don't get into trouble, you don't get any disease. Your life, they're very precious. So I've been telling you. Okay, and that's it on today's edition of the program. A Stitch in Time, coming to you from Sunrise FM 96.1. My name is Precious Chukwuekezie. Join us Mondays, Fridays for another edition of A Stitch in Time. Thank you for being there.